Shalom. We'll get started here in just a few moments.
The power of good is more terrible than the power of evil. You know, it ain't Satan with demons coming back shooting lasers on people, man. It's gonna be Yahweh Shai with his holy angels, man. That's powerful, man. Blasting people to nothing, man. You know, hey, it's beautiful and it's terrible, man. That's terrible, all right? Everybody gonna be afraid, man.
Behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
This is Job chapter 18, verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. Now this is going to happen to the so-called white man, okay? You so-called white people, you're going to be terrified, all right? Terrors will make you afraid on every side, okay? And you're going to have no place to run to, no safe haven, all right? Because your kingdom is going down, all right? And it's going to go down drastically, okay? You're going to lose everything, okay? And the whole world will rise up against you, okay?
And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto my power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim HaKodash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father. His true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. In his son's name, who the word ended to call Jesus Christ, real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Also give praises, honor, and glory to the Yahweh HaKodash, the Holy Spirit, which is the force and entity that makes its edification possible. I want to say shalom to all you sincere hearted Akim, to Akwat, that's you brothers and sisters, make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. Also want to give double honors to my beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and who rule well. And I'm the brother Azam Mawath here from the Great Millstone Dallas camp. Coming back this morning through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah to do another lesson. In the Lord's will, this lesson will be found edifying unto the elect of the nation of Israel, and glorifying unto the names of my power, Yahweh Shema Shah. And I want to get into the topic at hand. As you could read the title, it says Esau is trying to erase slavery and rewrite history. All right, Esau is trying to erase slavery and rewrite history, and this is what this devil is known for doing. All right, all throughout all throughout the time period. Okay, as he's been in power, rewriting the narrative, painting himself to be, the Most High, his son, the angels, all right, the Most High's people. Okay, and ultimately to make light, okay, of the plight of the Israelites, man, as Scripture speaks about here in the book of Psalms, the 73rd chapter. Okay, let's grab that real quick. And we're going to get straight to the point. Psalm 73 and verse 8. It says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. That's right, man. And that's speaking about, okay, you so-called white people, okay, whose biblical nationality is Esau, Edom. All right. And they're corrupt. All right. Everything that they do, say, touch, think, okay, feel, it's all corrupt, man. You see? And Esau's corrupted the earth, all right, through his lies, his deceits, his fraud, all right, his laws, his ways of life. That's why scriptures ask you the rhetorical question, if not, where and who is he? It says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. Oh, slavery was so long ago. Get over it. Okay, we gave you jobs. Okay, we gave you a good credit score. Shut up. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We all have equal rights now. All right, they speak wickedly concerning oppression, man. All right, as if these things are just going to be swept underneath the rug. You see, and we're in the times now to where ultimately, all right, this devil, okay, is cornered. Let's grab this here in the book of Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, and I got an article I want to read concerning Trump's latest endeavor to try to get rid of these monuments throughout the country, as it reflects our plight as so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, Israelites, our plight, as it relates into our oppression here in America, Babylon the Great, which proves that this place is Babylon the Great, by the way. Jeremiah 50:33 says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shemal Shah, the children of Israel." All right, Israel symbolizes the northern tribes. All right, the Latinos, Native and Seminole Indians. All right, because after the kingdom split, all right, after King Solomon, okay, the kingdom of Israel split into two. All right, southern kingdom being comprised of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and northern kingdom, all right, is comprised of the rest of the tribes. See, and the northern tribes are is Israel. It says the children of Israel and the children of Judah, that's the southern kingdom, were oppressed together. Where did that happen at? Okay, right here in America. All right, where you had the Latinos and Native Americans being oppressed right alongside, okay, the so-called blacks. See, that didn't happen in ancient Babylon, because during the time of ancient Babylon, it was just a southern kingdom there, while the northern kingdom, they were in the Assyrian captivity. All right, so this is that place, man. And it says the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Let's go here to 2 Ezra 6 and 18. 2 Ezra chapter 6 and 18, it says, "And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with the unrighteousness, and with the affliction, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled." Let's read that verse again. It says, "And will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness." That's right, man. And who's hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness? The so-called white man. You see? So inquisition, all right, is being had right now. Let's get this word inquisition. And this is what has this devil testimony. I mean, so like this is what has this devil cornered, is by the testimony. Okay, the testimony of Yahweh B'Shemal Shah. And that's why he's making moves such as what he's doing. Okay, setting up a digital system, digital surveillance system. Okay, changing the economy. Okay, crashing the economy. All right, just stirring up mayhem, stirring up civil war, coming down with the sword. All right, implementing martial law throughout the country. Okay, rewriting history or trying to erase slavery. You see, because he's been sought out. The Lord has made Esau bare, and he cannot hide anymore. So this is why he's moving so erroneously, if you will, or erratically. That's the word. He's moving erratically, man. He's all over the place. You see, this word inquisition, it says a judicial investigation. Judicial investigation, right? That's comprised of who? Judges. And who's the judges, man? Okay, starting with the Most High. All right, then his only begotten Son, the angels, all right, and the judges here upon the earth, all right, which are the elect men, the prophets, man. And they're investigating everything, man, spying out on everything through the Spirit. You see, you Edomites, all right, the wicked of our people, you see, but chiefly and especially the so-called white man, as it was written in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, all right, concerning the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah, the Apostle Paul says, "For that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. Who's the man of sin? The so-called white man. He's the wicked that the Bible speaks of, Malachi 1:4, Esau, Edom. All right, and he's being revealed, okay, by this inquisition, this judicial investigation, this cross-examination, because for a long time, he's ran the narrative on the earth. Real quick, Proverbs 18. Proverbs 18 in the NLT. Yep, Proverbs 18:17 in the NLT. The first to speak in court sounds right until the cross-examination begins. That's right, man. And Esau, he's had the narrative. All right, he's had the narrative. Okay, his media. All right, rewriting history, publishing it in his history books. You see, so the first to speak in court sounds right. So this is why the whole world believes the so-called white man, believes his testimony. Okay, this is why you got people in other nations. When they come here to the States, even these little dusty ass Hamites, when they come here to the States, they were told by the so-called white man, yeah, you see those black people over there? Yeah, they're bad. They're evil. Stay away from them. You see? But the first to speak in court, they sound right until the cross-examination begins. And we're in the time of cross-examination. You see? To where we're actually, through the testimony of Yahweh Shemal Shah, okay, pulling up this man's track record, man, pulling up his skirt. That proverbial skirt that scriptures speak about it, the book of Nahum, the 3rd chapter, man, and showing the whole world how filthy and vile and disgusting and base this man really is. And a lot of people are picking up on it, man. You see, so much to the point to where even his own people are ashamed, man. And scriptures speak about that. Sirach, the 41st chapter. All right, how his children shall be ashamed, for basically like the if a brother can post in Sirach 41, they should be ashamed of an ungodly father. You see, and that's what's happening, man. This is why Trump is trying to, literally erase the history of slavery, which he's getting his marching orders from the elites. All right, but this is them speaking wickedly concerning oppression, man. And the Most High, he requires that which is past, man. And that's what we're going to get into in this lesson. But let me finish out. Let's get another one real quick before we get back to 2nd Ezra. Then we're going to get into that article. And shalom to you, beloved Akim, and Aquaf tuning in. Hey, y'all, but Shema Shabbat. So Proverbs 28. And, 11 in the NLT. Rich people may think they are wise. And that's Esau. He thinks he's wise because he has, all the earth's resources. He's got the oil. He's got the wealth. He's got the technology. He's got the military might. So he thinks that he's wise. He thinks that he's, the Most High. So it says rich people may think that they are wise, but a poor person with discernment can see right through them, man. You see, and that's the elect. The elect can see right through this man's facade, his fraudulent facade. He ain't nothing but a damn devil, man. We see straight through him, man. Everybody else, they still have those blinders on. That covering cast is still over their eyes, and they're going to get destroyed right along with this man if you can't see straight through this man. All right. Never trust thy enemy. 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Let's finish it out. Verse 19. It says, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. So simultaneously, all right, the affliction of Zion, okay, which is the captivity, the final captivity of us Israelites that we're under, all right, at the tail end of that will be this inquisition. All right, so the very fact that the so-called white man, okay, is becoming known as Esau Edom, okay, pulling up his track record from what he's done in the past, what he's doing right now, what he plans to do. This is proof, man. All right, that there's about to be a great deliverance and a great destruction upon this earth, man. You see, and the elites, they know this. They know these things, man. Proverbs, Psalms, the 2nd chapter. When you read it in the NLT, it speaks about how the heathen, they rage, all right, against the Most High and against his anointed. They take counsel against the Lord, and they try to free themselves from the slavery from the Most High, man. You see? So they know very well what's going on. So I want to go ahead and get into this article here. It's off of newsrepublic.com. It says Trump is trying to literally erase the history of slavery. See? It says Donald Trump has ordered a park dedicated to Civil War history to remove a photo of a formerly enslaved man. See? Says the Trump administration censorship campaign has extended to the National Park Service. The White House has ordered the removal of signs and exhibits documenting American slavery, including a 1863 portrait of an ex-slave, often referred to as Peter or Gordon, as the thick, variegated whip scars on his scourged back. You see, and that's a very, infamous picture. I'm sure you, Malcolm had seen it. Whipped Peter. And it makes me think about a song that David wrote. I want to say Psalms 126. Let's see. Let me find it real quick. Plowed my back. Psalms 129. Yeah. Psalms 129 and 1 in NOT. A song for pilgrims ascending to Jerusalem. And that's us. Says from verse 1, from my earliest youth, my enemies have persecuted me. See, from my earliest youth. Okay, going back to the womb, Genesis 25th chapter, man. While we were in the womb, okay, Jacob and Esau, we were wrestling. When you go into that word, also like it, we were struggling. When you go into that word struggle, in the Hebrew, it means to oppress. So in the womb, Esau was oppressing us, man. You see, and we were oppressing him. All right. It says, from my earliest youth, my enemies have persecuted me. Let all Israel repeat this. From my earliest youth, my enemies have persecuted me, but they have never defeated me. And that's what we telling you damn devils right now, man. Okay, yeah, we under right now. Okay, we're brought very low. Hey, but the victory is written for the elect, starting with the elect. All right, ultimately, all of Israel, man. You can't defeat us. Amos 9th chapter, the plowman shall overtake the reaper. The elder shall serve the younger. We're not defeated. We can't be. It's not written, okay, by Yahweh Shah for us to be defeated. You're going to be defeated, and you know it, man. Verse 3 in the NLT, my back is covered with cuts, as if a farmer had plowed long furrows. See, and that just reminded me, of this, infamous picture, whipped Peter, whipped Peter. His name was Peter or Gordon. All right. He was known for having that scourged back. Let me see if I can pull up a picture for you. And I believe Will Smith just did a movie a few years ago. I think it was called Emancipated. That was a real good movie, man. But it kind of, depicted. Yeah, this is the Jake. This is the Israelite right here. Come on, bro. Hold on. Why is it? See, wow. Okay. Hey, check this out, man. See, this is proof that this devil's hurt, bro. Look, I just typed in whip Peter. Okay, here's the pictures right here. But when I click on it, if you can see it, try to look at what I'm about to do. As soon as I click on it, look what pulls up. Come on, bro. They're gonna give me some fucking Peter Pan, bro. You see? But they just showed me the picture I was looking for. Goddamn devils, man. You see? But anyway, but I mean, y'all have seen this picture before, but look at the Jake's back, man. Trump administration orders removal of famous Whip Peter photo. See? That's why when I clicked on it, it didn't pull anything up. It says they order removal of famous Whip Peter photo and other references to slavery and racism. They speak wickedly concerning oppression. Zechariah, the 11th chapter. Zechariah 11, whose possessors slay them. Okay, hey, you just had a Jake hung just this past weekend, man. You see? But yet they say, oh, it was no foul play involved, man. Oh, of course not. Right? But yet Edomite took out CK, but yet it's Jake's fault. Make that make sense, man. Zechariah 11:5. Whose possessors slay them? See, in Esau, okay, we're in Esau's possession, man. See, now although contextually this is speaking about okay, the wicked shepherds, all right, that had possession over us, all right, in the ancient world, those false prophets, and they were, leading the Lord's people astray. But nonetheless, we can apply this to Esau, man, as we're found in his hands. Zechariah 11:5, it says, let's see, the brother said, trying to stop you from saying, yep. He said, the brother GMS Yawasop said, same with when you type in yokes of iron, used to be Jake everywhere. Now they're trying to change the pictures. Exactly, bro. Yeah. Like it just said on that little excerpt there, Trump, he's ordered the removal of anything that, relates to slavery or oppression, man. See? Hey, but we're here to remind you and tell you, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai, our power, Yahweh Bashim Shai, requires that which is past, man. And he's making inquisition of all the blood that you spilled. Okay? And he's going all the way back to Cain, bro. Cain was never paid back. And that spirit of Cain, I'm going to prove it to you. I got some information here on the chat GPT we're going to pull up here in a second. Cain was never paid back. And that spirit that was in Cain is inside of you Edomites, bro. You got to pay for all that blood, man. All of it. Every drop. So this is why the type of judgment that's coming upon this earth very soon is going to literally shake the earth, bro. The terror. It's going to be, that's why scripture speaks about that dark and terrible day, bro. It's going to be a terrible day, man. And anybody that's in association with this man, you're going to get judged too. Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Oh, there was no foul play involved. We don't know how it happened. Oh, it must have been a sewer, a sewer to the side. We didn't do it. He just mysteriously just appeared on the tree. Hold themselves not guilty, man. You see? Hey, but that's the same sentiment that Cain pushed out, man. Am I my brother's keeper? You see, dodging responsibility and accountability, man. You see, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. Yeah, God bless America. This is the home of the free. This is God's country. You see, but look at all the blood of the Israelites, the Most High's chosen people that you shed, bro. Says, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Yeah, their own people don't care about that. They take black on black crime. That's their go-to, bro. That was CK's go-to. Black on black crime, black on black crime. You see? But yet when we were fresh out of slavery, we were trying to establish ourselves. We built up Wall Street, Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and many other, very successful, so-called black communities. What did Esau do? He flooded the towns, turned them into lakes, or he blew them up. You see, and then you had this thing called no man in the house rule, to where you took the men out the household. Okay, you gave us degeneracy. Okay, this fucking rap. Okay, you made clones of Jake, man. You even make movies about it. They clone Tyrone. You see, and then you turn around and say, oh, black on black crime. They don't care about their own people. Look at them. They don't want to work. They're lazy. So we're in the times now to where all that, hey, listen, bro, that's being addressed. And hey, go ahead and remove everything, bro. Remove, everything as it relates into our plight, our oppression here. Hey, at the end of the day, bro, it don't matter. It's already recorded in the heavens, bro. We don't need your fucking monuments anyway, boy. Yahweh Bashmal Shah remembers it, bro. You see? And we're here to remind you of that. And that's that dreadful sound in your ears. You see? That you're trying to run from. You can't run. Where you going to go? So let me read a little bit more here on this article. It says the White House has ordered the removal of signs and exhibits documenting American slavery, including an 1863 portrait of an ex-slave, often referred to as either Peter or Gordon, and the thick, variegated whip scars on his scourged back. Gordon's photograph became one of the most widely circulated images of the horrors of U.S. slavery during the abolitionist movement. It says the mass information scrub. That's exactly what it is. That was a good choice of words right there. Mass information scrub. See, and that's hey, that reminds me of iconoclasm. That's Job 9:24. Says the mass information scrub is all in an effort to make the Park Service compliant with Donald Trump's March executive order that directed the Interior Department to erase any information that could be misconstrued as a corrosive ideology. How is that a corrosive ideology? It's just history. You see, but yet whenever you got your fucking Confederate flags flying all over the place. Okay, oh, it's just history. It's just history. Why are you so offended? It's just history. You see? Well, okay, well, these are just monuments of history, of what happened here. You see? So how is this a corrosive ideology? You fucking devils, bro. You see? Man, let's get this real quick. Revelation 13. Revelation 13. This is it, bro. This is East. Hey, Hocat Malone hates to hear this scripture being read. I remember he tried to read this in a different version. Yo, he he cut himself. He cut himself. I can't remember which version he tried to read it out of, but yeah, when he read it, he cut himself, bro. And when he tried to, when he attempted to break it down, he broke it down correctly. It was like, okay, exactly, that's the point, nigga. You know, Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, man. So this is going to happen. It's written. All right. Esau, the so-called white man, you're known, all right, for leading into slavery, into captivity. You're known for killing with the sword, man. All right. So it's going to happen to you. Your own violent dealing shall fall upon your pate, as scripture speak about in the book of Psalms, man. Yeah, like the beautiful point, brother GMS Tazadak said, truth is corrosive to the devil. That's it, man. Truth is corrosive to this man. What is that? Let's get that in the book of Sirach, the first chapter. That's a beautiful statement through the spirit, bro. Yep. Sirach chapter 1. Sirach chapter 1. And yeah, Sirach 1:25. The parables of knowledge are in the treasures of wisdom, but godliness is an abomination to a sinner. See, and Esau, he's the man of sin. So godliness is an abomination to him. Truth is an abomination to him. See? And his lies, his deceit is being quenched. We should have continued to read in that 2 Ezra 6. It's being quenched with his word, man. 2 Ezra chapter 6. And bear with me. We're going to go back to that article. And like I said, I got a little bit of info here off the chat I want to go into, man. Hey, you devils, man, y'all can't run no more. Here we go. 2 Ezra 6 and 27, it says, for evil shall be put out and deceit shall be quenched. How's it being quenched? By the water of this word. It says, as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So like the brother just put on the comment board, truth is corrosive to the devil. You see, because he's the one that spread this deceit upon the earth. Revelation, the 20th chapter. He was loose from his prison, all right, during the time of the Renaissance. And he went to go spread this deceit and corruption, all right, all throughout the four corners of the earth. But now truth is flourishing once again, and it's quenching evil and deceit. You see, and that's how this man has hid himself. He's hid himself underneath the shroud and the veil of secrecy. You see, calling himself the true people of the Lord, calling himself white, calling himself European. No, you're an Edomite, man. And when you read the Bible, okay, when you read the Bible and the judgment that's attached to Esau, Edom, and their traits and characteristics, it's undeniable that it's going to the so-called white man. So let me read a little bit more here in this article, because I want to. This article, it's got some good stuff on it. Let's see. Yeah, so he said that the Interior Department is to erase any information that could be misconstrued as a corrosive ideology. It says that order has been interpreted by the Park Service to mean any information relating to racism, sexism, slavery, or G to the rights, which, that's wicked. We know how to, It says, or the persecution of Native Americans, the Post reported Monday night. Sites affected include Harper's Ferry National Historic Park in West Virginia, where abolitionist John Brown led an unsuccessful raid that eventually led to his capture and the start of the Civil War. I'm going to skip down here. Here we go. This is what I want. Another affected site is the President's house site in Philadelphia, where George Washington kept slaves. See? So they're moving stuff around over there too. The same place where George Washington kept his slaves, man. Says exhibits at that location apparently do not comply with the Park Service new order, according to sources that spoke with the Post. All signage under the department's purview is subject to review. See, so they're basically these devils, they're changing everything. Everywhere. Changing everything everywhere, man. And subject to review. And once again, this ain't nothing new. This is what he's always done. Okay, rewrite and change history, or whitewash it. See? And speak wickedly concerning oppression. It says interpretive materials that disproportionately emphasize negative aspects of U.S. history or historical figures without acknowledging broader context or national progress can unintentionally distort understanding rather than enrich it. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? We know the context of it. Okay. You hate so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, and you put us in slavery. It's that simple. You rape, robbed, and murdered us because you're the devil. It says, but the White House intrusion is historically unprecedented, according to historians. Yeah, even historians, they're taken back by this. Like, damn, why is the White House so intrusive on this? They've never been this intrusive, man. It's because this devil's cornered, and he knows he has a short time, and he's trying to rewrite the narrative. He's trying to take control of the narrative again. It says this represents, and also as he's trying to take control of the narrative again, all right, he's going to do so, with this technology. The technology is going to, be a big part in that. It already has been censoring information. I mean, y'all just saw it. I tried to pull up that picture with Peter, and it pulled up some fucking Peter Pan, bro. Like, come on, man. Says this represents an enormous, and that's childish as hell, bro. You see? Says this represents an enormous increase in federal power and control over the things we learn. It says America's parks aren't the only ones undergoing an enormous recession. Over the course of the summer, the president has wielded a heavy hand in reshaping the Kennedy Center programming and forced the Smithsonian Museum to remove mentions of Trump from its exhibits on impeachments under pressure from the White House. So this nigga, he going in, bro. The administration also issued a memo challenging the application of educational lenses on race, gender, and oppression in U.S. history, and accused the Smithsonian directly of advancing a divisive race-centered ideology. See, but once again, it's the same sentiment that Cain. When you read in Genesis, the 4th chapter, it's the same sentiment that Cain, had when the Most High made inquisition of Abel's blood. Hey, the blood of your brother Abel is crying out, before me. And Cain said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" That was him trying to, run from, accountability. You see? And these so-called, these devils, man, they don't want to be held accountable for what they've done. That's why they just tell you just get over it, or it was so long ago, or here we gave you a good job. Now we gave you equal rights. Here now you can sit in front of the bus. Now you can sit at the front of the bus. As if that's no, bro. The only way this can be retributed. All right, this is the only way right here. Yep, like the brother Benaiah, GMS standing firm too said, trying to hide the evidence of his crimes just like a fugitive. Right. That's it. Because that's part of the punishment that the Most High put upon Cain. He's going to be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, man. Numbers 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, man. See? And you devils, you got to pay for, listen, going all the way back to Cain up until the very present moment. And when you read about, let's get that in Revelation, what is that? Revelation 17, concerning this great whore, mystery Babylon the Great, which is America. Revelation 17 and 7. Let's start at verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. So America, this land, bro, is saturated, okay, with the blood of the Israelites, man. So much to the point to where, like, a lot of these construction crews, these road construction crews, when they dig up, when they dig up the earth, to try to, lay, new pavement and asphalt, they be running to a lot of skeletal remains, Native American skeletal remains, Negroes, this is America's is a big ass graveyard, bro. And the Most High, through his only begotten Son, is making inquisition of all that blood. Psalms the 9th chapter says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. See, and some of us going to be martyrs for Yahweh Shai, man. It says, and when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. See, because, John, he saw the vision of America. He saw, technology. He saw, roads, infrastructure, everything, buildings, sky rises, her influence upon the earth. But nonetheless, man, this place is going to be destroyed, bro. So I want to get this real quick. I typed in on the chat, how can Cain's response, am I my brother's keeper, fit the so-called white man and his relation to blacks, Hispanics, and natives? That's what it pulled up. Cain's response in Genesis 4 and 9. Let's go ahead and read it real quick. Let's read that account. It's just I'm just going to just read it and just get straight to the point, because I want to spend most of my time on that chat. Genesis 4 and 1, Cain and Abel. It says, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. And she bare again, and she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shai. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the same sentiment, is today, applies today. See, hey, because Cain, he knew what to give, because as that breath was given unto Adam, instructed his sons, on the ways on how to please Yahweh. See, but Cain wanted to do his own thing. He wanted to bring his own sacrifice, man. Something that the Lord didn't call for. And when the Lord was mad at Cain, and showed, respect unto Abel's sacrifice, Cain got butthurt. He got in his feelings, man. You see? And the same thing these devils doing now. Hey, look what those small headers are doing. Sacrificing that red heifer. Like, where is that in the scriptures, man? The Lord ain't called for that. You see? The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, man. So verse 5, it says, it's like in verse 6, Genesis 4 and 6. And the Lord Yahweh said to Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if you doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And Abel, and Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Now, like I said, I typed this into the chat, how Cain's response, am I my brother's keeper, fits the so-called white man and his relation to blacks, Hispanics, and natives. It says Cain's response in Genesis 4 and 9, am I my brother's keeper, was a denial of responsibility after he had just killed Abel. It was an evasive, dismissive way of avoiding accountability for what he had done. Look what Trump is doing. Not just him, but in general, these Edomites, man. This is very dismissive, bro. Hundreds of years just fucking raped, robbed, and murdered, lynched. Your women experimented on, the wombs of our women just cut open, taking our babies and just dashing them against trees and feeding them to gators. Very dismissive. It says, when you look at how this applies to the so-called white man in relation to blacks, Hispanics, and native peoples, the parallel is striking. Number one, historical violence and oppression. Cain shed his brother's blood. Colonizers and governments shed the blood of indigenous peoples, enslaved Africans, which are Israelites, and oppressed Latinos, which are Israelites, through conquest, slavery, and systemic violence. Just as Abel's blood cried out from the ground, so the history of slavery, genocide, and exploitation cries out against these nations. Genesis 4 and 10, see? But yet every time, we bring up our plight, what's told unto us? Get over it. That was so long ago, which it wasn't that long ago, bro. All right? It really wasn't that. Even if it was, so what? Let's get this in the book of Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which had been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. Let's grab that word, requireth. Bakash. It says to seek, meaning the Most High, he's seeking those things out which happened, in former times. So the Lord, he's very well interested in history. You see? The so-called white man's history. Where were you at? Esau, where were you at in 1492? What were you doing in 1619, Esau? What were you doing? The Most High is taking all that into account. And that's why, this Inquisition is going out right now. And it's got you devil's corner, and it's got you nervous. And then on top of that, you see chariots in the sky. splitting your missiles in half. Oh boy, you scared, man. It's over for you. It's over, man. It was over when it began. How about that? So let's go back here. It says number 2, denial of responsibility. Cain pretended he had no responsibility for his brother's welfare. In the same way, many institutions deny or minimize responsibility for the oppression of blacks, Hispanics, and natives, whether through dismissing reparations, denying systemic racism, or rewriting history. Hey, and that dude that just got deleted, okay, CK, all right, he loved to try to, frame us and point us out to be some type of monsters, and like, we're just stupid, we just love just deleting our own people, like, but see, he overlooked all this, dismissed all this, man, because he's an Edomite. He's supposed to. And I can't wait, bro, until Yahweh Bashim Shah. Let's get this real quick in the book of Psalms 10. Get straight to the point. Psalms chapter 10. Psalms 10. Let's see, where's it at? Here we go. Psalms 10 and 12. And look at the title of this psalm: a prayer for the overthrow of the wicked. That's what you should be praying for, man. We're not praying for these, for these people, bro. We're praying for Yahweh Bashim Shah to overthrow the so-called white man. And you got these coon-ass niggas trying to hold hands and sing kumbaya with the so-called white man. He could be saved too. He's our brother. He bleeds red just like me. Fuck out of here, man. Y'all are pitiful. And Yahweh Bashim Shah going to delete y'all asses too. And you're going to come back in the kingdom all righteous, and you're going to have your head down for a long time. I'm talking about you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's trying to cop a plea for the so-called white man. You're going to have your heads down in the kingdom of heaven for a long time. Psalms 10 and where is it at? I just had it. Psalms 10 and 11. Man, really, this I'm just trying to get to the point where this whole chapter is great, man. It goes in on Esau and what he does against the Israelites, man, against the poor. Let me get to the point. Psalms 10 and 10. He croucheth, he humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, the Most High has forgotten. That's how these devils really feel, man. The Most High has forgotten. What was that? Psalms 50 and 20. Thou thoughtest that all was altogether such as one as thyself. You see? But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. That's what's happening. See, you thought the Most High was like you. Okay? He perverts justice and judgment. Okay? He just tramples on the poor and needy. No, the Most High, he was wroth with his people for a little season. All right, because we disobeyed and we played the harlot against them. But now, okay, our captivity's up. So now he's reproving you, okay, by the form of, this testimony, this new song going out, and he's setting up, all right, his people in order before your eyes. So it says, he hath said in his heart, the Most High has forgotten. He hideth his face. And that's Esau. That's what he's doing. Okay, going on this whole nationwide campaign and digital campaign to pretty much erase and block, okay, and delete anything that pertains into our oppression. That's him hiding his face from it. Am I not my brother's keeper? I'm not responsible for that. Miss me with that. Says he hideth his face, he will never see it. Arise, O Yahweh Bashim Shah. Lift up thine hand. Forget not the humble. And that's what we're praying to the Lord for, man. Plead our cause. Lift up your hand. Okay, send back Yahweh Shah. Verse 13, wherefore doth the wicked contemn the Most High? He hath said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. See, so they don't believe that the Most High is going to require this. Hey, give me 1 second. That's the job. Hit me up. Give me 1 second, Baba Shah. I'm gonna have to put it on mute real quick. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. Baba Kasha. All right, I'm back. You have to water for your patience. So let's go back here to the Psalms 10 and 13. It says, wherefore doth the wicked contemn the Most High? He hath said in his heart, thou will not require it. So these devils, they don't think that the Most High, all right, is going to require that which is past. So let me go back here to this article or this chat GPT. Chat GPT, number 3. Hold on, give me 1 second. Number 3 says, Cain's question was rhetorical, almost sarcastic, as if to say, why should I care? Exactly, man. Am I my brother's keeper? Why should I care? I mean, he ain't nobody to me. See? And that's the spirit that these devils are in, man. Likewise, the attitude of that was the past, they should get over it, or everyone has equal opportunity now, reflects a Cain-like refusal to acknowledge duty toward oppressed brothers. See? And are we not your brother technically? Yeah. Genesis 25th chapter. You see? And you the first one. You the first one to say, hey, brother. Hey, brother. But look how you treat your so-called brothers, man. See? Number 4, keeper equals protector. To be a keeper means to guard, watch over, or take responsibility for another's well-being. Instead of keeping blacks, Hispanics, and natives safe, the so-called white man has historically profited off their labor, land, and suffering. See? And Ezekiel 35th chapter. Ezekiel 35 and 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. That's talking about right now. We're at the end of this captivity, but look what this devil's doing, bro. He's going in. And they're forwarding the oppression right now. Let's get that. Zechariah. What's that? Zechariah. For the affliction. Zechariah 1. Okay. I want to get in the NLT. Zechariah 1 and 15. In the NLT version. It says, but I am very angry with the other nations that are now enjoying peace and security. I was only a little angry with my people, but the nations inflicted harm on them far beyond my intention. See? And that's what Esau's doing, man. All right, far beyond the Most High's intentions, bro. You're trying to change Jake's molecular structure, okay? Giving Jake goddamn Fagos and hot Cheetos and, GMOs, okay? V-scenes and, that's far beyond the Lord's intentions, man. You're just doing too much, bro. All right, so I need to hurry up. I got to get ready for this clock. Dang, bro. Man, it was some more stuff on here, but I mean, you could type in the same question, how Cain's response and my brother's keeper, fits a so-called white man and his relation to black Scandinavians. Y'all could type that in. It's some good stuff that was, pulled up. But yeah, man, I think the point was made. I need to hurry up and go ahead and get this day started. But let me get one or two precepts here off the comment board. And the water Akim. Yeah, the brother GMS Tazadak says 61 years was not that long ago at all. Segregation so-called ended that year on paper. Yeah, come on, 61 years ago, bro. Like some of us got parents that's, older than that, And our parents be telling us stories, I remember when my grandfather was living, man, he used to tell me all types of, stories and things that happened to him. KKKs pulling up on him and, they burning crosses in front of his yard. Like that, bro, that wasn't long ago, man. The fuck you talking about? Yeah. So let's see. Let's get a quick one. Yep, let's get this. The brother put up James 2:13. For he shall have judgment without mercy, that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoice against judgment. That's right, man. And who showed no mercy? Esau. So ain't gonna be no mercy showed to you, man. And you can even read about that in your own compact Bible dictionary, the Zonovan's Compact Bible Dictionary, for the word Edom. And it says the only nation or the only neighbor of the Israelites that's promised by the Most High to receive no mercy. You see, so you Edomites, y'all know what's coming for you. And this is why you're trying to hide. See? Yeah, brother Jim, as y'all was saying, my father's older than that. So I'm sure your father be telling you all types of stuff, man. Yep, he grew up in Georgia, got all types of stuff. Oh, yeah, especially out there in Georgia, man. So, yeah, bro. Judgment's coming for you Edomites. All right. But, yeah, we're going to leave it right there. Lord's willing, you Akim and Alquat were edified. Till next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to my power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. I want to give double honor to my beloved apostle, always a great millstone, Moaf Lababal, Shalom. And the water for the precepts, Akim.